voice is so adorable. You should do ASMR. Your voice is so soothing. ASMR artist. You sound like you do mommy ASMR. Your voice sounds so ASMR-esque. I don't know how is your voice like that. It's just satisfying, like talking ASMR. Some of y'all like my voice? And it sounds like ASMR? That's really unexpected as someone who hardly talks at all. Thank you, since y'all like it so much. In this video, I'll show y'all how I produce audio for my Storytime animations. This video is perfect for any new creators who don't know the first thing about recording and editing audio. Hey everyone, it's Shortcake. This is the second video in the series on how to become a Storytime animator. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell button. At least do it so you can catch the third part of my series when it comes out. It'll be all about art, so be ready for it. Also, happy summer! My Shortcake shop is open with new summery fruit stickers and some other cool stickers and postcards too. Please check it out at shortcake.com. Okay, here's the truth. What you hear right now is not my actual voice. No, it's not AI and
no, I'm not using a voice changer.
What I mean is, everything you hear is fully scripted and heavily edited. Other people, like those commentary channels, can just turn on a mic and simply speak into it. They're so easily entertaining. But not me. Everything has to be written down first, because I can't think of things in my mind and have it come out of my mouth coherently. Luckily, with videos, I can edit out any imperfections so that my voice is more tolerable, and I'll show you exactly how. First things first, before you can do anything, you'll need some programs and hardware. I don't know anything about editing on mobile, as I'm more of a computer person, so go get a computer. If you want to make a good recording, you need microphones. Here's a tier list of all the microphones I used, from cheapest to most expensive. In my poop video, I mentioned a pink microphone. This is a cheaper microphone that can be found on Amazon, and it does the job pretty nicely. The microphone I currently use is the Blue Yeti mic. It's around $100, but very worth it. If you clicked on this video wondering how I got that ASMR voice, this is how. This is Calamar. He gave me a fat stack of tips, so if you see him up here, you know where that tip came from. I'm not the best at audio. I am more of a visual artist, so his tips will come in handy. If you got the monies and are dedicated to making your audio in the best quality, he recommends investing in an XLR microphone with a good audio interface. I put it in S tier, but I never tried it before, so I don't really know. After you've got your microphone, you should get a pop filter to reduce plosives. Plosives are exhaled winds produced by saying P or B-lettered words. This is pop without a pop filter, and this is pop with a pop filter. Headphones! Good headphones are non-negotiable. For me, I use a variety of earphones for different situations. I think they're all good quality, and it helps me hear the minute details in audio. Whatever it is, don't use speakers when editing audio. The sound waves scattering across the room can make the audio sound a bit different. Now that you've got your devices, you need a good space to record your audio. Good places include closets and dressing rooms, as these smaller and filled spaces reduce reverb. If you can afford it, have a special recording room with padded acoustic panels. Though if you're like me, a broke animator, I just work in my bedroom. And for this video, I decided to give closets a try. Do you notice any difference in my voice between this video and the last? Programs! I use a free audio editing program called Audacity. They didn't sponsor me, but I do use it to record my voice and edit audio for all my Storytime animations. So make sure you have that downloaded. Wanna know who did sponsor me? Milanote! Milanote is a free creative application that can be used to plan and organize your creative projects. You can use it in many ways, such as planning Storytime animations, drawing storyboards, writing a script outline, and keep large collections of art. I saw someone use it to make boards for their OCs. They had a lot of art. Here's my editing your voice board, where I tried to make it look like an audio editor. In this video, I'll be showing different ways of using Milanote while I go through the process of how I develop my audio as a Storytime animator. Warm-ups! Do you tend to twist your tongue, stutter, or mess your words up? I do. At least a week before recording day, I'd practice my voice by reading an entire list of tongue twisters out loud. Here's my voice warm-up board, where I keep all the tongue twisters in one place. First, I start slowly. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Next, I I do it as fast as I possibly can. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I read the list of tongue twisters once a day and it helps prepare my tongue for recording. I've been doing this for many months now for my Storytime videos, and I do notice it being a lot easier to pronounce things. Credits to my sticker maker for recommending tongue twisters. Using Milanote, I can use the Milanote Web Clipper extension to collect website links and directly send it to the board I choose. First, go to a website you want to save, click on the little Milanote icon, and in the upper right corner, there will be a pop-up of the link to the website. I can click on the little arrow on the orange button, choose the board I want to save it to, and then click on save. You can also do this on Roblox, where you hover over a game and the Milanote icon will appear. You can keep a whole collection of Roblox games in one board. How cool is that? When I move back to my Milanote warm-up board, the link is provided to the side. You can save multiple websites too. Here are tongue twisters I pasted from different websites using Milanote Web Clipper. I also kept my favorite twisters into notes so that it's easily accessible. Another thing I do for voice warm-up is singing. I don't sing, but my family does. A lot. Filipinos love their karaoke. The entire family would sing songs so beautifully, except for me. My singing skill is at level 1. I tried to sing a lot more. Less so for fun, and more so I can improve the longevity and quality of my voice. If improving my voice helps my Storytime animations improve, I'll do it. Practicing singing, even though I sound horrific, helped me learn to control my breathing a bit more when doing a voiceover. I'm not constantly catching my breath anymore, and I feel that my voice is stronger than before. In my voice warm-up board, I used the Milanote Web Clipper to insert songs that I think are a little easier to practice with my limited voice. Having it all in one place makes it way easier than looking it all up individually. Pre-recording! I made a whole pre-recording regimen so that my voice is at its best when recording. First off, sleep. I make sure to have a full 6 to 9 hours of sleep so that I'm well rested and energized to record. Here's my script board where I inserted a document and copy pasted my script from the last video. You can alternatively just paste your script into a note, but that would be really long. Though using it as a note can make it more fun because I get to add annotations and doodles on top of it. This is also where I put my little checklist of things I do before recording. First thing I do is chug a caffeinated drink. It could be tea, coffee, soda, an energy drink, whatever has caffeine will do. While I sip the drink, I would work on practicing some tongue twisters to warm up my voice. After finishing my drink and warm up, I go and take a hot shower to ease congestion. When I speak for long periods of time, I tend to get all nasally, so this is necessary for me. Finally, while I wait for my hair to dry, I review the entire script beforehand, but softly, so I can save my weak little voice. While reviewing, I emphasize some important words using bold, italics, and underline to help me remember when to speak strongly. People are more drawn to voices with a lot more variation in the tonations and the strengths of the voice. Monotone is okay. It can definitely be characteristic of your style, but having some emphasis is good. You can even have commas or spaces that dials up the strength of the sentences. For example, I don't like cake. I love cake. Notice the break and the emphasis. Oh yeah, I also make sure to get plenty of warm water so that it soothes my throat and keeps me hydrated. Recording! Now that the caffeine is absorbed into my bloodstream, it's time to record. I'll use Milanote as a place to put my script while I voice over the script using Audacity. I have my headphones and my microphone connected, so now I'll just press the red button to record. I've had so many embarrassing things happen to me, but this one story is hands down the most embarrassing experience. While I record myself recording my audio, here are some things you should probably do before you record. First, check that your microphone is fully tested and works well in Audacity. When you start recording, don't say anything. Shut up! Be quiet for at least 5 to 10 seconds because you'll use this later in editing out background noise from your audio. As you record, if you have an unreliable voice like mine, you'll have to do multiple takes of one sentence. This will increase the recording time, but it's worth it for better quality audio. Voice editing! Now we're at the editing stage. First, I've cleaned up my voice before adding anything. Here are 3 ways that I clean my audio. First is noise removal. Remember the 5 to 10 second recording of silence? Select the silence, go to Effect, noise removal and repair, noise reduction, and click on Get Noise Profile. Next, use Ctrl-A to select your entire recording and do the same thing, which is Effect, Noise Removal and Repair, Noise Reduction. Then, you can adjust the sliders as you wish, but I usually keep the options to default. Then hit OK. The second way to clean your audio is to zoom out on Audacity and delete any big empty spaces shown on the audio. But that's easy. Zoom back in and listen to your entire audio and delete any bad takes. Yes, you have to listen to your own voice. I know it feels weird and no, it hasn't gotten better for me. Also, trim out any breathers, pauses, and any long unrelated tangents you might have gotten through. Sometimes you may hear my voice in my videos be cut off randomly, and that's because I'm stitching together the best takes. Some takes may be better in one half, but terrible in the other half. I wish I could be so good that I don't need takes, but it's gonna be a while. Third is using Amplify. I use Amplify to raise or lower the volume of my audio. My voice is always too quiet, so I just select the entire audio and amplify it until it's good and loud. De-essing. Essing is a yucky, loud, high-pitched sound that hurts my ears but always happens when I say it. There are multiple ways to de-ess your audio, and there's definitely better ways than how I do it. For me, I comb through my entire audio for any annoying S's. And I select the S, go to Effect, and Amplify, and I usually put it around -5 so that the S isn't so loud. Great job! You've cleaned up your voice. Go through your entire audio again to double check that you've edited everything. You can add audio distortions to increase variation in your voice and make your video more interesting, such as adding echo, reverb,
lowering the pitch,
or raising the speed. Adding music. Here's my music collection board. Back in university, I took a class called Film Music, where we learned the purpose of certain musics in certain films. The music we use in YouTube videos is usually considered non-diegetic music. Non-diegetic music is background music that the characters in the video do not hear, but what the viewers do hear. It serves solely as a benefit for the viewer. Diegetic music is music that the characters do hear, like this boy playing his ukulele and singing. Leitmotifs are basically melodies representing an important person, place, or thing that repeatedly occur in the story. An example would be this melody in Undertale. Having leitmotifs can increase the emotional impact of your story using familiarity. When looking for music, make sure it is copyright-free, uncopyrighted, or non-copyrighted. The correct term is having a Creative Commons license that gives the user permission to use the song. Free music can be found by simply searching it up. I used the Milanote web clipper to insert all of these links. I found this Reddit post that contains a list of websites that people can use to find uncopyrighted music. Another place could be SoundCloud, but of course you have to check if you're allowed to use the song you chose. No Copyright Sounds is another choice, and I think you have to credit them. I usually find my music on YouTube. I tend to use music produced by Nintendo because those are usually copyright free. Toby Fox music is great non-diegetic music too. Another one is classical music made from the classical times. Finding uncopyrighted music is a lifetime task for all video editors. I immediately save it directly to a playlist because good ones can be hard to come by. To figure out if a song is copyrighted, go to several videos containing the same song and go to the description. If there's a section that says music and contains the song and the creator of the song you want to use, well, if you use it, you can't monetize your video, that's for sure. Of course, you can maybe pay some artists for a license to use their music. It's good to support musicians, but it's not within my budget at the moment. Sound effects! This is my sound effects collection board. Sound effects are helpful in making your videos more interactive and engaging. If the viewer is losing attention and is getting distracted, sound effects help smack that viewer back into paying attention. So try to add as much as possible. I tend to get lazy when adding sound effects, so most of them are added to the beginning of the video to keep the viewer watching. To find sound effects, just like music, you can search for non-copyrighted sound effects. Sound effects can be found on freesound.org, but you must check the licensing. For example, some Creative Commons licenses allow you to use the sound for commercial use and without needing to ask permission. Others require you to credit them and provide a link. There are other different types of licenses and permissions, just go look them up. At least with freesound.org, it should show what license the sound has. I usually use sound effects from YouTube. Sometimes I download individual effects depending on my needs, but for long-form Storytime animations, I like to download these big videos with a bunch of sound effects in them. In Audacity, I just import that big video into a new track. I select and copy-paste the sound effect I want to use into my own audio. If I need to hear my audio, I just mute the sound effects track. Sharing boards. MuleNote also allows you to share your boards with your team. I don't have an animation team yet, but I did do a contract with my sticker maker. This is my sticker planning board. In this board, I sketched out some little sticker ideas for my strawberry summertime tree stickers. To use MuleNote's collaboration feature, click on share and you can add editors by inserting their email or sending them a link. Alternatively, if you don't want them to edit your delicious boards, you can enable the read-only link, and this would allow viewers without an account to view your board. I shared my board with my sticker maker and she added some cute comments and notes. A refreshing drink for a hot summer day. Cool Taco Strawberry Sundae. Pink versus red? Or is this days in prison? These summertime stickers are out now, so if you're interested, go check it out on my store at shortcake.com. Thank you so much to MuleNote for sponsoring this video. Sign up for a free MuleNote account using the link in the description. Leveling! Now that you've recorded, edited, and added music and sound effects to your video, you have one last step. And that is to level your audio. I hate when audio in some other videos would start super quietly that I'd be forced to bring my volume up by a lot just to hear them. Then, out of nowhere, they play the loudest music that just blasts your ears off. If that happens, I immediately click off the video. They clearly don't care enough about their viewers. So, to avoid accidental audio jump scares, you can level your audio in Audacity by following these instructions. Export! I go to File, Export Audio, and I make sure that the file is an MP3 file, or whatever file your video editor accepts. I always name my files. I don't really understand the audio option, so I'll just keep it like that. Make sure the entire project option is selected, and click on Export. The audio is finally complete. Congratulations! The next video will be all about designing the art of your channel. I'll show you how to make your character turn around, design your own art style, and I'll even show you how to make cover photos and profile pictures for YouTube. It'll be very fun and very artsy, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you know when the next video is up. Do you have any tips or questions regarding audio editing and voice recording for videos? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See ya!